So this year, the DAT is going to be using what's called SharePoint, and this is going to be a one-stop shop for everything that's going on in the cadet wing. So you're going to have flight pages that's going to be specifically tailored to your flight. So what flight are you guys?
Bravo.
Bravo flight. So when you're looking for your flight, any sort of information, your flight commander may put stuff into your Bravo flight tab. So if you click on this link up here, it's going to go to your Bravo flight page. And here you can see you have documents, you have a calendar, you have tasks, you have all these different things. And if you scroll down, you can see that there's already some documents that your flight commander has put in so that you can utilize these. This is the flight page is going to be specifically designed by your flight commander. So if they ever have anything they want you to see, an announcement, they may tell you, check the SharePoint page later. I'm going to put it there. So that's where you're going to want to be looking. If you want to go back to the main screen where you signed in from, you're going to hit the home button. This brings you back. Is everyone with me so far?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. So, other things you can find on the SharePoint page. Some of the biggest ones that you are probably going to utilize the most are going to be in the library section on the sidebar. Here you have the weekly ops orders. So I'm the director of staff support. Sorry, and I'm going to be sending out those emails that you get each week containing the ops orders. Those ops orders are everything you need to know for that week. The uniform, what you're going to be doing, what things are happening. And so, yes, I'm going to keep sending you the emails, but if you ever delete the email, you're going to come here, and you're going to click on the weekly ops orders. And here we have week 1 ops orders. And it's going to have all the up-to-date stuff. Then you have videos on how to use SharePoint. So if you're confused and you don't know what to do, come into these videos. You can look into these folders. There's 2 folders, each containing the same videos, whether you're going to look at the videos on a Mac or a PC. And then you can actually download and look at these videos. These are for you, so make sure you're using them and checking those out before you go into your flight commander and saying you don't know how to do something. Then you have memo templates. So Cadet Connolly, the IG, has set up these templates so that, say you're about to miss a PT and you need to send in a miss PT memo. You can come here and you can find that memo template and you can fill that out with all your information. This is designed so that you can, you're not constantly nagging your flight commanders for this, but you can find it yourself. There's also going to be other memo templates on here. You also have AFIs. AFIs are some of the more important ones you're going to be looking at are probably the dress and appearance. So make sure you're checking that out. Say you don't know, I mean for right now your uniforms that you're wearing right now aren't going to be as applicable to the AFI, but things like, is my hair too long? Can I get this tattoo? Or whatever it may be, they're going to be in AFIs. So you're going to find all those AFIs right here. And then you have some shared documents. Currently, we have important dates to pay attention to throughout the lab or throughout the cadet wing. So say you guys all have a job, or some of you may have a job, and we have a Saturday at Llab. This is where you're going to come and you're going to look and you're going to say, okay, September 19th, say that's a Saturday, I don't know if it is. Then you're going to say, okay, I need to request off work for that day because I know I have an ROTC event and that it's a mandatory event and that I need to go to that. So going back to the home screen and kind of touching back on what we were just talking about is the calendar. So right here, there's a little brief calendar, I would say, but the main one you can find under the list section, and you'll see cadet calendar. So you can click on that, and this is everything that's happening within the cadet wing. So this is your AS100, AS200 classes you can find on here, where they are, and what time they're at. So if I click on, let's see, here's your AS100 class. So if you click on that, it's going to bring this up. You can see the location of where that's at. You're in 213 classroom building. You can see what days it's on, and you can see what that class is. And that's for everything. So your physical training. If you're ever confused about when physical training is, you can find it on here. If you're wondering when an OSU home game is, you can find it on here. So say we go to September, we have a bunch of events going on, but September 24th, we have Leadership Lab. We're going to be doing paintball that day. So now you know, okay, on September 24th, I need to take off work because I'm going to have a training session during that time. And then it also says what the uniform of the day is going to be and where that location is going to be. In particular, this location for paintball is TA1. Who knows where TA1 is? Only a few of you. So, now that you don't know where TA1 is, we're going to help you find it. So if you go back home and you go to Llab locations, now we see a picture of where TA1 is. So now we can go into TA1, and now we can kind of get a map of where that is. And the same is true for other locations. So for PT, if you're at the cross-country course and you're not sure where that is, you can also go into here, you can find where the cross-country course is. Or when we have events at Boomer Lake, you can find out exactly where we're meeting at Boomer Lake, because Boomer Lake's pretty big. We could be meeting anywhere. Also, for AS100s specifically, not as much for the AS200s currently, you can make an appointment with Staff Sergeant Jones on his calendar that's been put onto SharePoint. So, this is everything going on, everything Staff Sergeant Jones has going on this week. So say you need to make an appointment to pick up a form or sign some paperwork with him. You're going to go over, say we need to make it for tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We're going to go over here, we're going to click on that day, and we're going to click Add. So now this form comes up. Now for the title, do you guys know what you put in? You put in your name, so that he can see that, okay, for me, say I put in my name, Cadet Miller made this appointment. Then for what the appointment is about, so he can prepare the paperwork or anything else, you're going to put in the description what is going to happen at that appointment, or why you made the appointment with him. And then they're automatically reserved for half-hour blocks. If it's any longer than a half hour, you should probably double check with Staff Sergeant Jones to make sure he wants a block longer than a half an hour. But a half an hour is a standard amount of time. Once you make that, I don't really have a keyboard, so I'm not going to type anything in right now. But once you make it, it's going to be an appointment on the calendar. And if you want to change the date, you're just going to click into one of these. Say, I made this appointment. You're going to click into this one. You're going to edit the item, and you can change the time of your appointment. Staff Sergeant Jones, is there anything you want to say about that? Anything else you want to say about that?
If you are going to change your appointment, then send me an email saying that you're going to change the appointment before you actually do. Because in a perfect world, I will get an email every time something is changed in the calendar. So Cadet Salcedo makes an appointment with me, and I get an email saying, hey, Cadet Salcedo made an appointment with you. If he changes it, I might not get that email, so I might not be around for the time that he changed it to. So if you're making a change to an appointment you've already made, send me an email and let me know, okay? And part two, if you have to delete an appointment, in other words, if you just need to completely change it for another day, another week, then you also need to send me an email. Because this is what I work off of. You see all the appointments I've made throughout the entire week up there. This is what I went off of for my entire week. And it's busy right now because all y'all should be making appointments with me. So if things are changing, I'm not aware of it, and I'm going to miss things. I don't like missing things. So email me if you're going to make a change to your appointment once you have made it initially. Okay? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? That over like two people. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay. And again, that's just for, in this case, 100s and 400s. Any 200s in the classroom and 300s. This doesn't apply to you yet because Tech Sergeant Viscarando is not currently using this. We're really just doing this as a test. Another thing that can be confusing is, as you can see from this page, there's no way to get back from the home screen, and you're going to experience that sometimes in some of these pages. So to go back, there's a little folder up here with a green arrow coming up. If you click on that, that kind of gives you like a little bullet point of where you're at within the website. So if you want to get back to the home screen is going to be the Air Force ROTC Det 670. So if you click on that, that's going to bring you back to the home screen. Make sense? All right. Other things you can find is each week, Cadet McGrath is going to be taking pictures and videos. Those are all going to go onto the SharePoint site. And say you want to send your mom a picture of you, or whatever. I don't know. My mom likes that. I don't know about you guys, but you can go into the cadet photos. You can look at the photos from, this happens to be from the Tan Death March, and you can actually download the photos and look at them. Does anybody have any questions so far? Is everyone following along? Does this make sense to everyone?
Yes,
This
sir.
is good. Okay, because this is what you're going to be using from now on. This is probably, we're trying to utilize this more and more, and we want to make sure all of you guys can understand every bit of this, so that it makes our life easier and your life easier. Otherwise, we usually work off a kind of spread of Google Sheets and everything else. So we're trying to make this a one-stop shop for everything within the cadet wing. Other than that, that kind of covers most of the SharePoint site. Don't worry about these tabs up here, the Llab workspace and the Det 670 cadre. That's not really for you, and you're not going to be able to get into that anyways. Other than that, do you want to say anything about your specific flight page, Captain Zabrowski?
Okay, so as you see, I've added some documents here. So if you miss a PT, you don't make 2 a week, you have to send me your PT absence memo. I uploaded a PT absence template on here already. Basically, all you have to do is download the template and just fill in your name. We have everything blank so you can see, so you don't have to just write out a whole different thing, so we made that easier. We have our expectations, and we also have a simple memo template. Memos are what we use. You can really send a memo for anything. So if you ever have to send a basic memo, we have a memo template here. We have our office hours there as well. So it's always, if you ever have a question whether we're available or not, we'll always update this every week as best we can. So everything is going to be here. If you'd like to see something here, send me an email, put a message in the group me saying, hey, can I have this template in there? Or maybe for those who can't make it to a flight meeting, we can start a document and put flight meeting hours on there so you can see all those, so you don't have to get in contact with me all the time saying, hey, what did I miss? So just to go up there. So this is going to be a tool. Everything you need to know, or every tool that I have for you, will be up here. Does that make sense? So if you ever have a question, look here. If it's not there, then come to me. That's all I got.
Thanks.
Yes, Cadet Smith.
If you get this PT this week, your memorandum for PT absence is due to Cadet Zabrowski by tomorrow close of business, I believe.
Yes, tomorrow close business. Yes, Cadet
Time
Smith.
is close of business.
5 o'clock, or 1700. For those who aren't so accustomed to military time. Anytime we say close of business, it's always 5 p.m. or 1700. Good? Everybody good?
Okay. That's kind of it for the SharePoint page. If no one has any questions, do you have anything else you would want to add, Staff Sergeant Jones?
Yeah, just one thing.
Okay.
So, with everything y'all want to learn at ROTC, this is one of the most practical things you can learn about active duty Air Force, because the entire Air Force uses SharePoint. So, if you want to see what active duty looks like and what you're going to be, one of the things you're going to be using the most on active duty, it says right here. If y'all start learning this now, by the time you get active duty and go to your first unit, y'all are going to be steps ahead of a lot of people. So it looks like it may be kind of difficult to learn and work around, but the more you use it, the easier it gets, and you get a little bit of a taste of active duty Air Force life. That's all I got.
Yeah, I would definitely encourage everyone within this next weekend to just spend a little bit of time getting used to it, figuring your way around, watching the videos that have been uploaded, and just trying to learn the website and get used to it as best as you can.
A few of the things that there are to join in ROTC or just ROTC related. Real quick foot stomper, like grades are first, and don't join an organization and let your grades slip. Like that's not worth it. You're here to get your education and possibly commission. So big note before we start on that. So first we're gonna start with Cadet Raymer talking about color guard.
Hello, I'm Cadet Raymer, and I'm a color guard flight commander this semester. So color guard, we basically are just presenting the colors at different events for the national anthem. Our big one this semester are the Oklahoma State football games, and our big one is in the spring, our Oklahoma City Thunder games. The fact that you present the colors of the games means you get in for free and you get to watch the games for free. Oh, with the Oklahoma State games, you actually get to go on the field after too. So you get to go shoot the cannon off and go on the field on the push-up board. So there's a lot of opportunities with this. A big incentive is E100s. You actually get your uniform a year early, your service dress, not your ABUs. So you get your uniform a year early if you make it in. And if you're interested, the first meeting will be not this Sunday, but next Sunday at 1400. We're gonna, so there's a training process. It's 4 weeks, and you only meet an hour each week on Sundays. So it's not that time demanding, and we'll give you all the tools you need to succeed. And it's not that competitive, depends on how many people want to do it. But, so if you're interested, there's going to be a sign-in sheet in the conference room, and just sign up, and I'll see you not this Sunday, but next Sunday at 1400. Also, we're working on getting a drill team started, so that'll be through the color guard. Yes. So, that's it.
I might be passing something around. I'm going to talk about Baton Death March. This is a memorial ruck march that's 26.2 miles that we do out in White Sands in Mexico. It's to honor those who actually went on the Death March to Baton during World War II. This year is actually the 75th anniversary march. It's going to be the second Sunday of spring break next semester, but training will start this semester at some point. Point of contact will be Cadet Garcia. I went last year and had a lot of fun. Met some pretty good friends with POC and some of the GMC. I went as a 200, and we had a lot of fun. Since it's the last Sunday of spring break, you actually get out of classes the Monday you get back, and possibly the Tuesday. We're not so certain about that. More details will come out a little bit later, but I had a lot of fun. Are there any questions?
Cadet Smith, Bravo Flight. How will we be running or walking?
It'll be marching, so mostly walking. Depends on what speed you want to go to. I think we're going to try to do a fast group and a slow group this year, but depends on how it goes.
When you say marching, do you mean marching or walking?
Basically walking. Any other questions?
You guys will set up Bravo flights. What kind of training or like would you do during the year to prepare for it?
So basically the training includes us going out to either like Boomer, Lake, cross country course outside of ROTC, like on Saturdays and Sundays, and walking around out there for distances, long distances. They're going to get longer as we get closer towards the event. You'll have a backpack on with whatever weight you plan on carrying at the event, and then the final team will get a actual like issued backpack that They will then put all their weight in, and we'll take out to New Mexico.
How much does it cost?
Not certain right now how much it's going to cost for you personally. We try to do some fundraising before the event to help pay for it, so that it would cost less out of pocket for us. I think last year I ended up paying, I want to say it was like $200, but it was totally worth the experience. How much you pay?
0.
Oh, you did?
I mean, food.
Well, I mean, we paid for food. I paid for a rucksack, and some other people paid for some other stuff. But that's most of the cost right there is food. If you want to get a better backpack than what we have here.
Also, on a question, how would I go about training?
I would contact Cadet Garcia about that.
Right.
See how she wants to handle that. She's in charge of it this year. Any other questions?
Hi, I'm Cadet Carter. Last semester, I was the finance officer for Scabbard and Blade, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to our nation's military officers. So it includes all of the branches, and it's ROTC and active duty. It was founded in 1905 by 5 members, and it now has over 130,000. So it's a big organization. Lots of alumni are involved in it. It can get you, scholarships or just experience. It's dedicated to developing officers with the 5 sub-qualities. So honor, leadership, professionalism, officership, and unity. Here at Oklahoma State, we meet a couple times a semester. We'll have speakers come in and tell us about their life experiences, and then we'll get to ask them questions and learn from them. We'll have a couple social functions every year. So we've had banquets with alumni coming in, and you get to look nice and eat good food. And national conferences and alumni barbecues. So I don't know how many of you have been to the food trucks in Stillwater, but Pretty Q is a barbecue food truck. It's so good, and they catered our alumni barbecue last semester. So it also gives you the opportunity to have leadership experience before you get to the POC. So the banquet that we had, approximately 2 years ago. So as a 200, I was helping plan that. I was learning, what goes into it and who you need to contact. And now as Force Support Squadron Commander, my squadron's in charge of planning Dining Out, which is a very similar event, just not joint. And, so now I can take that experience and apply it to what I'm doing now. You also have the opportunity to work on all sorts of other projects. So there's the National Hall of Fame that Scabbard and Blade is trying to get involved with, like doing the color guard for the inductions this year and stuff like that. But, if you're curious about learning more, then you can contact Cadet Morgan. He's an officer this semester, and there will be an informational meeting in the next few weeks that will be in the ops orders. So just keep an eye out for that. Are there any questions?
So, like I said, I'm Cadet Martinez. I'll be talking to you all about our Arnold Air Society. You can pass those out around if you want them. That basically has information. We're going to be having an informational on, or we're going to have a social, like a get-together, get to learn more on Friday this afternoon. There'll be free pizza here in the deck. And then on Sunday, our pledge process is going to start. Arnold Air is basically a community service organization. It's also like an honor organization, and you get to build a ton of friends. It will be a tight, big group of people. So we go out and do highway cleanup. We go to events like our national conclave, like it's in Orlando this coming spring. basically you do a lot of training. It's a lot of stuff that pushes you out of your comfort zones and it makes you become a better leader. So with that, you get to stand out in a way amongst your peers because you'll get to know things before they know. You'll know how to do things before they know how to do them. And you kind of accelerate a little faster. So we will push you in this organization. It's a total of 8 weeks, 8-week process, but at the end of it, you're done. You don't have to do the process again. Then you're officially a member. And so, does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. So you get to work a lot with cadre. Maybe they'll have you give a presentation at Llab or work with a lot of the COC officers. And if they have something they want to help you work on, like say you're not good at public speaking, they can help you with that. And you get to like build those bonds and build that community. And honestly, some of the people in Arnold Air are some of my best friends. And it's because of Arnold Air that I have those close group of friends. You do not need to be in Arnold Air to become a POC, just say that. But makes it more enjoyable, I think. You get a bunch of friends, you help each other out. And so we will be having a meeting on Friday. If you want to learn more, see what we do, see pictures, get to meet all the members. And then Sunday we'll start the process. And if you want to join, but maybe can't make those dates, then let me know, let someone else who's in Arnold Air know. For Carter, let in, just let us know.
Anyone like shooting? Okay. Alright, so you're going to get a message in your group meet about OSU shooting team, because we have one. There's too much Army in there, not enough circles. So keep an eye out for that.
Happens, entities I'm instructing. I know what happens when we stand in the heat for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. Things leak out of our ears, right? We forget stuff because it's uncomfortable and we don't want to think about things. So, just a quick review. I already said it before, 40 inches all the way around. What does DCID mean? Anybody raise your hand? Right. Joe Wilson.
Distance, cover, interval.
Close. Close. Switch skis around. Dress, cover, interval, distance. All right, what foot do we step off with?
Okay, knock it off. Everybody
All right, back it up. This way. This way.
Backing up, backing up.
Left foot. That's correct. We still do instructing. So, everybody getting close. I don't have to yell at the people in front. Just getting close. Not that close. Give me. I want to be like. Yeah, I don't want to be that close. All right. So real quick review. We got 40 inches all the way around. Step off with your left foot. Coordinated arm swings is not something I touched on. Okay. So when you're walking, do you walk like this or this? First one, right? Oh. So get out of here.
No, I get it.
All right. So there's a reason we do that. Okay. It looks natural and it feels natural, and there's a science behind it, but I won't get into that because it's not important. So when you put your left foot forward, you put your right hand forward, right? It's a game of opposites. So your left foot goes forward, your right foot goes forward. Where's Sizemore? Cadet Sizemore, are we safe?
We're safe now.
All right, go back to where you were. And that's why you have a safety officer, so you can keep instructing, and they are in charge of making everybody safe. It's called delegation. When done properly, you can make an entire region super efficient. Go ahead and back up one. Go back up one. There you go. Excellent, excellent. So, coordinated arm swings like I was touching on earlier. There you go, at ease. Relax as soon as you get your distance. So, coordinated arm swings. Just like this. None of this penguin something or other. I don't know what it is. I don't know anybody that does that. So, don't do that. If you did it before, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself and you go home and cry. Okay, that's not what I want to do here. I want to point out the mistakes so we can fix them so that we can get better, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. She's pumped to be here. That's what I like to hear, right? Yeah. There we go. Keeping up morale. That's all I like to see. All right. So we're gonna try this again, and focusing on the two new things I'm about to tell you. So we have the coordinated arm swing and the foot roll. Who knows what the foot roll is and why we do it? Cadet Larson, I saw your hand first. Speak up.
Roll your foot from your heels to the ball, and so when you're walking, you're not bouncing up and down. You're staying at a constant height so you work with.
Precisely, man. If you had a hammer and nail, it would have looked exactly the same because you hit it on the head. All right. So whenever you're doing your coordinated arm swing, you don't want to look really clunky like this. Okay. See how my head's going up and down? That's not good. You don't want that. All right. you want to look professional, like you're gliding across the asphalt. Rolling your foot from heel to toe. Looking professional. What we like to see. Alright, when everybody does it, everybody's doing the same thing. They're marching with the natural arm swing. 6 to the front, 3 to the rear. Why? Because that's the way we do it here, alright? So, you get the natural arm swing, you start off with the right foot, you gliding across the asphalt, you're looking more professional than anybody else here on campus, and that includes the dean. Don't tell him I said that, alright? So, we're going to do this again. We're going to march a little bit, we're going to turn around and march back, and right about that time, it's going to be time to wrap up, and we'll go over a couple more things, and we'll join the rest of your flight, turn you over to flight commander. Sound good?
Great.
Good, that's what I like to see, alright? Flight to hut! Alright, peace!
Hey, when you're rolling your feet, it's gonna feel like you're putting your weight on the outside of your feet. So what I do is I over-exaggerate it. So I walk on the outside of my foot, and it helps me glide.
And all the muscles in your leg are going to be tight.
Alright, everybody ready? Okay. Forward, hut! Up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. 6 to the front, 3 to the rear. That's the way we do it here. Up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4.
Right, boom.
Wait, halt!
Step. What?
Cover!
Cover. Short, choppy steps. You move. If the person in front of you moves, you move. The person to your right moves, you move.
Alright. So new people joining the flight. Alright, we're doing instructions, so that easy. So, new people joining the flight, were you briefed on dress, cover, interval, and distance? No? Alright, so real quick, recap on DCID is you want a 40-inch radius all the way around you. So basically, if you were to spin around in place with your arms doing a helicopter, you should not be able to hit anybody. You should have a 6-inch buffer. Because you want that 40 inches, which is about an arm's length, which is about 36 inches on average, plus a hot dog, which is about 6 inches every time. So you get around 40 inches, just really close. It's more of an art than a science. Nobody's gonna pull out a ruler and say you're 41.5 inches off, so you get a gig. No, that's not what's gonna happen. Basically, you want enough space so that people can walk in between the elements. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if I were to come over here and you were facing south, I should be able to walk through, or I guess while you're marching, I should be able to walk through here and not touch a single person. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone knows how to do an about face, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fight and shut. About peace. All right. Perfect. All right. Maintain your 40 inches. As soon as we start marching, you can start auto-correcting. So, if you're too close to somebody, you can back up or get closer. If you're too far to the left, too far to the right, you can move that, okay? Part of marching is fixing yourself while you march. Because if you see something wrong, you don't want to stay wrong, you want to fix it, right? Right?
Sir.
All right. So fix it while you march. Before we get started, does everybody know what cover means?
Yes, sir.
Does anybody not know what cover means? Anybody at all? Raise your hand. Don't be ashamed of it. If you didn't learn it, that's fine. All right, we have one person that's going to be honest. Okay. So, whenever we stop, whenever I give the command, flight, halt, you take one step, you'll stop, and you'll say flight, halt, what? And that prompts me to say cover. Because whenever we stop, everyone likes to take an extra long step. Some people don't like to take an extra long step. We get off kilter. That gives you the chance to take a few seconds and guide to the person in front of you. So you have that appropriate 40 inches all the way around. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Let's see how it works. Forward, hut, hook, 2, 3, 4, hook, 2, 3, 4.
Last swing. Last swing. Last swing. Last swing.
Best to the right. Best to the right. Hook, 2, 3, 4, hook, 2, 3, 4. Best to the right. Best to the right. Keep your distance.
Yes, you're right.
Flight, Halt!
Why, what?
Cover! Get your distance, get your 40 inches, 40 inches. Arm and a hot dog, arm and a hot dog. Just to the right. All right, all right. Everybody listen to Cadet Conley. He's going to let you in on a little secret. You can go to at ease. This counts as instruction.
All right, we say cover. Let's act like we're covering from sniper fire, okay? You want Cadet Hernandez to be shot. If you don't want to be shot, you better be directly behind him. Make sense? Get your cover, okay? If you can see a cadet out of your right side, you do not have your dress, okay? That means they're too far forward. You have to step up, all right?
All right, knock it off. Back it up.
Over here.
So you're good, you're good. That's good.
That's good. Oh, they're in a cruise. They don't need much.
All right. When it comes to interval, put your hands up. Put your hands up like everybody. Everybody puts their hands up, right? You don't. Side to side, you do not need to put your hands up. Why? And then what's the flight do?
Fall in line.
Gets their cover. All right. So put your hands up. Put your arm up. Get your distance. Get that one. Right there.
Just the front.
Okay. And then this adjusts. So there's no reason for any of you to put your arms up. Right? Because if he has his correct interval between arm leaders and you have your cover, then you should have the same exact interval between the person next to you. Correct? Theoretically speaking, right? And then distance. There's no reason to put your hand forward if you're in these two elements. Why is that? Because you have your dress.
Just
Only
right.
person that has to worry about their distance is this element.
Third element right here. All right, the one on the far right, that's when I say dress to the right. You look to them for how far forward and back to go. All right, so these are all helpful reminders. These are things we're gonna go over in enhanced drill. If you haven't quite gotten all of it yet, which I don't expect many of you have, please, please, please come to enhanced drill, not for me, but for you, okay? I know how to drill, that's why they put me in charge. I don't do it for me, I do it for you. So, if all of you come, and you all know what you're doing, then that's fine. If you don't know what you're doing, we need you there because all this stuff is very important. It doesn't seem important, but it is. All right, at this time, I'm gonna turn you over to flight commanders. Flight commander, can I grab him, take him away?
All right,